In this alternate vision of the United States, a military coup has transformed the nation into a totalitarian dystopia, ruled solely by a figure known as the Major. Under his regime, a brutal competition called the Long Walk is introduced. The winner is promised fame, wealth, and the fulfillment of a single wish, any wish they desire. Broadcast nationwide, the event offers many citizens their only hope of escaping poverty. Participants volunteer for the contest, and a lottery selects 50 individuals to compete. Representing the state of Maine is Ray, who is accompanied to the event by his mother, Ginny. Their journey is marked by palpable tension. Ginny pleads with Ray to reconsider, but he firmly reminds her that the decision is his alone.
This is my decision, okay? Not yours.
ID, please.
Upon arrival, Ginny embraces Ray tightly, overcome with emotion as she bids him farewell.
What?
Wait!
Mom, I can't.
Ray enters through the main gate and meets Peter, a warm and welcoming fellow contestant. Most of the participants appear friendly, and soon they are engaged in light-hearted conversation as they await the start of the event.
I ain't trying to think about it too much. Just want to walk and maybe make some friends.
One boy, Curly, paces nervously, trying to mask his anxiety. His youthful appearance draws attention, and although he claims to be 18, the others remain unconvinced. The Major eventually arrives and distributes metal tags to each contestant, assigning them numbers and declaring them men. He delivers a speech emphasizing that the Long Walk was designed to restore the nation's work ethic, which he believes has deteriorated since the war. According to him, the event consistently boosts national productivity, and he attributes the country's economic struggles to widespread laziness. As he speaks, the boys receive bracelets that monitor their walking speed. The rules are then outlined. Participants must walk continuously until only one remains. There is no finish line. Each must maintain a minimum speed of 3 miles per hour. Falling below this threshold triggers a warning. Failing to recover within 10 seconds results in a second warning. After 3 warnings, the contestant is executed. Stepping off the pavement leads to immediate execution without warning. The Major concludes his speech with a forced cheer and fires a gun into the air to commence the competition. The boys begin walking, followed closely by military trucks that document their progress. The landscape is desolate, as spectators are only permitted near the final stretch. Initially, only residents living along the route can observe. As the group passes a police officer, one contestant, Gary, responds with a rude gesture and spits on the ground. At first, the mood is serious and focused. By mile 5, however, conversations begin to emerge. When Steban slows down slightly, he receives an immediate warning and quickly adjusts his pace. The others speculate whether he was testing the system's limits. Gary, meanwhile, stops to remove a rock from his shoe and is swiftly issued warnings.
What you doing, man?
Shit!
Come on, get up!
Just before receiving the fatal third warning, he resumes walking, narrowly avoiding execution. Though the others criticize his recklessness, Gary insists he did it to rest.
For your lousy 30-second rest, now you gotta walk 3 goddamn hours without getting a warning.
By mile 7, discussions turn to the prize. Arthur admits his sole motivation is financial gain, while Ray argues that deeper issues are at stake. Skeptical, the others listen as Ray passionately critiques the system. He asserts that while the government claims participants volunteer freely, in reality, economic desperation leaves them with no viable alternatives.
They say we have a choice to sign up for the lottery, but do any of you know anyone ever who hasn't?
Some contestants caution against speaking negatively on camera, but Peter is moved by Ray's words and agrees that any winnings should be used to help others. He then lights a cigarette, prompting Hank to warn him of the risks. Arthur, unfazed, asks to share. As the contestants continue their journey, their banter is abruptly interrupted by Richard, who pushes through the group while documenting each participant's name and number. His goal is to write a book about the long walk that he hopes will bring him fame. Peter dismisses the idea, arguing that winning the competition already guarantees wealth and recognition. Later, Curly cries out in pain due to a severe leg cramp. As he slows down, soldiers issue a warning. Ray and Peter offer verbal encouragement, and Ray even helps Curly walk.
Okay, good. All right, see this? You gotta promise me that you're gonna keep walking. We're right on pace. Stick with me, okay? Just keep walking.
Motivated, Curly attempts to continue on his own, but the pain overwhelms him and he collapses. After receiving his third warning, a soldier executes him with a shot to the head.
It ain't fucking fair!
The traumatic moment causes Ray to falter, earning him a warning as well. Peter quickly urges him to pick up the pace. The Major soon appears and delivers a speech honoring Curly, describing him as a fallen comrade whose bravery should be remembered. When Ray requests a canteen refill, he briefly touches the soldier's gun as a symbolic gesture. Meanwhile, Peter relieves himself openly on the road. By mile 17, the group spots a young girl cheering for Ray from the roadside, holding a sign. The other boys tease him about having a fan, despite her age. Suddenly, another contestant suffers a seizure and collapses. Soldiers begin issuing warnings, and Gary jumps over the boy, mocking him for concealing medical issues. The boy is ultimately shot, prompting Gary to remark that the reduced competition is cause for celebration. At mile 25, Gary begins harassing a boy named Rank. Initially, Rank ignores him, but when Gary insults his mother, Rank retaliates with punches. Gary dodges the blows, and Rank falls hard to the ground. Unable to recover in time, Rank is executed.
Kill that kid for Christ's sakes.
Off, okay? Fuck you.
I can't wait to see your brains all over the fucking concrete, Balkovich. You know, I'll cheer when.
The remaining boys confront Gary, blaming him for Rank's death and expressing their hope that he will be eliminated soon. Later, another boy attempts to defecate while walking but slows down too much and is shot. By mile 35, the Major returns to congratulate the group for surviving the first night, using patriotic language to frame the event as a noble endeavor. Ray begins to doze off and dreams of his mother.
Set my eyes on sweet.
When he slows down, he receives a warning, and Peter quickly wakes him. As they walk, the boys discuss their families.
I was dreaming about my mom. Yeah. And
What's her name?
Ginny.
Jen.
Ginny.
Ray slows again and receives a second warning. Though he speeds up, he stumbles and earns a third warning, meaning he must walk flawlessly for 3 hours to reset his status. Peter offers support, but Ray, feeling overwhelmed, lashes out and accuses Peter of pretending to care.
Stop pretending like you don't want to see me with a fucking bullet in the back of my head.
The group soon reaches a steep hill, intensifying their exhaustion. Several boys collapse and are shot.
You're dying tonight. You're dying tonight.
Ray tries to ignore the carnage and endure Gary's taunts.
You ain't gonna fucking make it, Garrity.
When Ray begins to falter, Peter catches him just in time. Grateful, Ray apologizes for his earlier outburst. By morning, the group reaches mile 59. After the previous night's casualties, only 18 contestants remain. At mile 67, Hank struggles to keep pace. Peter checks on him, but Hank snaps in frustration.
Go to hell!
Richard, who has been limping due to a twisted ankle, finally slows down. Despite Ray's encouragement, Richard collapses and is executed in front of 2 nearby children. Upon reaching mile 100, the Major reappears to offer congratulations. One boy attempts to escape by running into a building but is immediately shot. At mile 103, the boys discuss their potential wishes. Peter expresses a desire for 2 winners, while Ray hopes to dismantle the system. The others argue that the wish cannot alter the state directly. Frustrated, they begin cursing the Major and the competition. That evening, heavy rain sets in. Ray struggles to stay awake, and Peter helps him walk. By morning, they reach mile 144. Arthur stops to relieve himself but is warned by soldiers and forced to continue before finishing.
What, you need a gun to your head to get up from a shit? Jesus.
Sorry, can you break off? You stink.
To distract themselves from exhaustion, the boys engage in conversation. Ray shares a personal story about his father, whom he considers a hero. His father once taught forbidden subjects like philosophy and was labeled a traitor by the government. When the Major demanded his loyalty, Ray's father refused and was executed.
May God show mercy.
Never forget who you are, Ray.
Ray then reveals his true motive for joining the long walk. He intends to use his wish to obtain a gun and assassinate the Major. He expresses disdain for the spectators who enjoy watching the suffering unfold.
They want to see our fucking brains on the concrete, man. They just as soon see yours.
Look harder. See that? That's a family, and they love each other.
As the long walk progresses, Peter reminds the group that they, too, are victims of a system that has conditioned them to view this brutal contest as noble. By mile 170, the mood has grown somber and silent. One boy, suffering from severely bleeding feet, attempts to climb onto a military tank and begs for help. A soldier knocks him down, and the tank crushes his legs. Despite his agony, he receives the standard warnings and is ultimately executed. The trauma causes another boy to lose his sanity. He strips off his clothes and runs off the road, resulting in his immediate death. Hank notices he's lost a tooth. By mile 201, Hank is barely able to stand. Ray tries to encourage him, but Hank has reached his limit.
All of weeks.
Hank.
Come on, just keep walking.
Keep walking, Ray, come on!
Austin, get that fucker!
He turns toward the soldiers and is shot on the spot. Arthur, devastated, rushes to hold his dying friend and receives a warning. Ray pulls him away just in time to save him.
I did it all wrong!
Save it! Stop. Stop, it's okay.
By the next morning, only 6 boys remain as they reach mile 209. They reflect on Hank's life and agree that the winner should donate part of the prize money to his widow. Gary, feeling excluded, approaches Ray and confesses that Rank's death has haunted him. He apologizes, insisting he never intended for it to happen, and pledges to contribute to Hank's wife as well. The group accepts him back into their circle.
Can't stop fucking hearing it and seeing it in my mind over and over again, man.
You want to be a part of the deal?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
However, Gary's guilt overwhelms him. After a heated rant, he walks ahead and attempts to end his life using a spoon.
I'm gonna be with you horse forever now, okay?
What the fuck?
The soldiers follow protocol, issue warnings, and execute him. At mile 260, the remaining boys try to lift their spirits by singing.
Oh my darling, oh my darling. Oh.
On the 5th day, they reach mile 278 and enter Ray's hometown. Kali remarks that Ray is lucky to see his mother, but Ray sees it as a curse. He must face her only to leave again. By mile 286, they begin crossing the town. One of Ray's boots falls apart, and Arthur warns that the imbalance will make walking harder. Ray removes both shoes, revealing his bleeding feet. When he spots his mother, Ginny, nearby, he instinctively runs toward her. She steps back, urging him to stay on the road. Peter pulls Ray back just in time to prevent the soldiers from shooting. Ray shouts a final apology to his crying mother, realizing he's become no different from his father. As they continue, Peter shares his own story. His parents died in the war, and he was sent to live with an abusive uncle who died when Peter was 10. Forced to survive on the streets, Peter turned to theft and fighting. During one altercation, he was slashed across the face and hospitalized. That experience led him to vow to seek light even in darkness. If he wins, he plans to use the money to help orphans. By mile 306, Spins suggests they stop helping each other, or the walk will never end. Though it pains them, the others agree. When Arthur's nose begins bleeding, they pretend not to notice. This causes Kai to snap. He runs ahead, steals a soldier's gun, and kills himself. The soldiers retaliate, but Kai refuses to let them claim his death and takes his own life before they can finish him. At mile 324, Arthur's condition worsens. Peter and Ray abandon the pact and help him walk. Arthur, aware of his fate, asks them to deliver his locket to his grandmother and not to look back as he walks toward the soldiers. He is executed swiftly. Night falls at mile 326. Now only 3 remain. As they cross a bridge, the Major addresses them. Ray insults him, but the Major is unfazed, believing such aggression is a sign of a true winner. Spins then reveals he is one of the Major's many illegitimate sons and wishes to live in his father's house. Feeling his body failing, he expresses gratitude for walking with Peter and Ray, and says he's glad one of them will win. He stops walking and is executed without any reaction from the Major. Rain begins to fall. Ray confesses that he used to fear death, but after witnessing so much loss, he now sees this moment as meaningful. At mile 331, the final 2 reach a town where a cheering crowd awaits. Peter offers to surrender so Ray can reunite with his mother, but Ray refuses and urges him to continue. Peter walks ahead, unaware that Ray has stopped. The soldiers shoot Ray, and Peter tries to return to him, but as the last remaining contestant, he is restrained. Ray tells Peter he loves him and apologizes to his mother. The Major arrives and delivers the final shot.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Fireworks erupt as the crowd celebrates. Peter, emotionally shattered, is congratulated and asked to make his wish. He requests a soldier's gun to pass down to his children as a symbol of victory. Though hesitant, the soldiers comply at the Major's command. Peter takes the gun, points it at the Major, who tries to calm him by reminding him of the fame and fortune. A tearful Peter replies, "This is for Ray," and shoots the Major. He then drops the weapon and walks away.